Larry just quit.
Ugh, you got a tough choice to make. Do you promote John, who always reaches his sales goals? He's hit his bonus the last 5 quarters in a row, and he accounts single-handedly for 15% of your company's sales growth revenue.
Or do you promote Daniela, who is constantly making plans to go out with her coworkers, is always challenging ideas in meetings, and gets distracted helping Jason figure out his computer again?
Old school rules say this is a no-brainer. Promote John. But the research shows you might want to reconsider before simply promoting the top performer.
According to Dr. Tomas Chamorro Premusic. Tomas Chamorro Premusic. Sorry for slaughtering your name. He is an international authority on psychological profiling and people analytics. He tells us that there is a difference between high performance employees and high potential employees.
High performers know how to work.
High potentials know how to lead.
Research shows that only 15 to 30% of your employees can do both. So when you think about it, it's a pretty big gamble.
You could be making a big mistake hiring John. I'm just saying.
What we often do is we say, you fit in this way. And we create our structures much more transactionally rather than from a human perspective. And then we try to squeeze people into that. And you know, when you try to put round pegs into square holes, sometimes a smaller round peg will fit into the square hole, but that doesn't mean it's a good match.
Right.
And so as a result of that, in many cases, the people who are the most creative, the most likely to bring a different idea, a new way of looking at things, and the people who most struggle with not fitting in are the people who suffer the most.
I love that visualization because all too often we think we've been successful just because we managed to get the smaller round peg into the larger square hole. That doesn't mean it's the best fit.
So ask yourself, does John even want to be promoted? 8 out of 10 times, the reason why top performers say yes to a management position is because it's tied to compensation.
They just want to get paid more. The compensation model has to be based on the value the employee brings to the organization, not simply their position.
The reality is, the skills that made a top performer are not the skills that will make a great leader.
Kevin Martin is the Chief Research Officer at the Institute for Corporate Productivity. He talks a lot about the risk we face when we promote top performers without considering their leadership skills.
These people have been promoted in many instances because they were the top performer, right? As an individual contributor. They weren't brought in because of their ability to lead people, have quality conversations, and the development just isn't there. It's not just promoting people around, hey, you were the top performer, but it's rewarding people and promoting people and putting them in succession pipelines because of, yeah, you're good at what you do, but how you go about doing it enables our business to achieve what we want.
So let's reconsider Daniela. On the surface, she didn't look like the right fit, but drilling into it, we learned that she is great at scheduling events and meetings and getting employees to show up to them. She welcomes new ideas, she's innovative, she's not afraid of change, and she goes out of her way to help others. It's these almost intangible skills that make her a great leader and a great fit for the position.
Okay, Alexander, I think that we're drinking from the Kool-Aid here, but that just begs the question. How then do you identify your high potential leaders?
I am glad you asked. Here are 2 strategies that you can use to help identify your high potentials. Number 1. Here's your new high potential checklist. Does this person have empathy for fellow coworkers? Do they embody the culture of the organization? Are they accountable and set a good example? Are they innovative and open to change? Do they have the ability to have tough conversations? These skills make for a strong leader and are even more important than performance stats.
The second thing you can do is let your employees choose. Now, hear me out. Send out a message to your employees, have them identify 3 people that they trust at the organization, and then you can compile the results, find the patterns, and pick the best fit.
What if there are no high potentials to promote?
Well then, be brave enough to choose an outside hire without feeling obligated to have to promote from within.
Okay, now let's address a concern that comes up all the time. I didn't promote my top performer and now they're upset. After all, it's a big culture shift to move away from promoting the top performer to promoting the best future leader.
Tim Sackett is a top 10 global HR influencer, a recruiting executive, and author of The Talent Fix. He shares his own experiences making the transition.
It's some of the hardest personnel decisions I've ever had to make in my career was to say to a top performer, you're not going to get the role to be the director or to be the VP because ultimately the people, the team, doesn't see you as a leader. They see that person as a leader, and they might be a good above average performer or whatever. They're not the top performer. And a lot of times you lose that person because I did a crappy job of setting those conversations up and probably didn't do a great job during the whole feedback loops and everything else to like let that person know here's where you're failing, even though you're the best programmer, you're the best whatever. And so it's really hard.
Promoting the right person is very difficult, especially if the right person isn't the top performer. But once we've made our decision, we have to go with what's best for the organization, and then we have to make sure that we are equipping that new manager with all the resources that they need.
John Baldino is the founder of Humoriso, an HR consulting firm.
What we see in the work that we do is really ill-equipped managers. Just they're not unintelligent. It's not that they couldn't do a better job. It's that we haven't really done a great job of setting them up for success. What we've done instead is said, you've done this job really well. You now can manage the team. We want to see everybody on your team now do exactly what you were doing when you were just, the great employee in the department. Good luck. When your employees don't rise to the occasion, you're a terrible manager.
Yeah, you're the problem then.
Correct.
Right.
And so engagement now for that employee that got promoted is in the toilet. And then you've got employees who are in that department who have had no direction now, who have had no support. They're not feeling it, right? So it's a lose-lose all the way around.
Are you promoting the right boss? Are you equipping that boss with the right skills? Or are you just manager shaming?
I'm not a huge fan of the manager shaming that we do, right? Like, because I think we put so many people into positions that they're not ready for, not prepared for.
Yep.
And oh, by the way, we decided not to invest and train them to what's going to happen, right? And so they just take the keys, and all of a sudden they're the manager because they were the best performer.
Yep.
And I really think we should do a better job of determining what are those DNA traits that make a good manager, and choose those versus choose the best performer. To be a great manager, you have to help your team succeed, your employees succeed, and that's going to make you a great manager. And we don't teach them that.
Yep.
And then we just go and shame them at conferences and say, oh, it's the manager's fault, that's why people leave. No, it's obviously an issue, but like, can we stop doing that and start helping them?
Managers are not just doing sales or marketing anymore. They are leading. People get degrees just to learn this skill set. This is not a promotion. It is a career change. So let's make sure that we are promoting the right fit based on their potential, not their performance.
Thanks for watching. Please be sure to check out our other videos. And remember, today's HR has the privilege of bringing potential to work.